From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the news blast for this hour. The Chicago Tribune is reporting that if you've ever considered going vegetarian, now might be the time to make the jump to a meat-free diet. Chicken and ground beef notched record-breaking prices in June, continuing their climb as feed and production costs rise along with demand. But while the cost of chicken has increased more steadily, beef prices have surged rapidly, jumping nearly 14% over year, according to the latest data from the Consumer Price Index. Still, sticker shock isn't confined to the supermarket aisle. Many Americans are also seeing jaw-dropping energy bills. Last month, the average cost of electricity hit 19 cents per kilowatt hour for the first time ever, and natural gas prices are the highest they've been in more than 2 years. The Tribune is tracking 11 everyday costs for Americans: eggs, milk, bread, bananas, oranges, tomatoes, chicken, ground beef, gasoline, electricity, and natural gas, and how they are changing, or not, under the second Trump administration. This tracker is updated monthly using Consumer Price Index data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Egg prices, for example, have dropped for a third month straight, falling another 17% month over month. Now, $3.78 for a dozen large grade A eggs. June marked the first time the nationwide average registered below $4 since November 2024. Currently, the cost of eggs is about 9% less than it was before Trump took office. Milk. As of June, a gallon of fresh fortified whole milk would set you back about $4.03. That price is 7 cents lower than it was last month of the administration of President Joe Biden, and up only 2% from a year ago. It should be noted that applies to most states. Pennsylvania does have minimum pricing on milk. Therefore, it is possible that you're paying more than $4.03 for fresh fortified whole milk. The price of bread. Some good news for carb lovers. The cost of bread is at a 2.5-year low. As of June, white bread was priced at $1.86 per pound. Bananas. The cost of bananas fell slightly from May's all-time high, dropping just a fraction of a cent to 65 cents per pound. Inflated costs are likely a byproduct of Trump's trade war. The United States relies on banana growers like Guatemala, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Honduras, and Mexico for billions of pounds of fruit, but currently all are subject to an import tax of at least 10%. Orange prices went up 4% in June and likely will continue on this upward trend in the coming months. This, however, has little to do with any policies from the current administration. Like many citrus fruits, the cost of oranges is heavily tied to the harvesting season. As we exit orange season, supplies will decrease, coinciding with an increase in demand, thus triggering higher prices. This is standard for the fruit market, with oranges cheapest in the winter months, then increasing in cost throughout the late spring and summer, and eventually peaking in September or October each year. Currently, the average price per pound for navel oranges is $1.63 nationwide. The cost of field-grown tomatoes is approximately $1.74 per pound. The price is 3 cents higher than the previous month and down roughly 16% since Trump took over. This change, however, is largely due to the growing season. Like oranges, tomato prices vary depending on the time of year, rising in the fall, peaking in the early winter months, and then plummeting in the spring. But there may soon be movement outside the typical pricing seasonality. On Monday, the Trump administration announced it was placing a 17% tariff on Mexican-grown tomatoes, which make up the vast majority of all tomatoes eaten and sold in the United States. Still, as of June, prices were down nearly 6% from the same time last year. The average cost of fresh whole chicken jumped 3 cents month over month, landing at an all-time high of $2.09 per pound. So why the price spike? Could be the result of feeding costs going up, the lingering effects of bird flu on the supply chain, or that more drastic increases in beef prices are driving a shift in consumer demand toward cheaper meat options like chicken. Ground beef. Amid peak backyard barbecue season, ground beef prices are trending upward. Now $6.10 per pound. The average price of 100% ground beef chuck hit record highs for the fifth consecutive month, surging roughly 11% since the start of the year. The rising cost can be attributed to a confluence of factors. The U.S. cattle inventory is the lowest it's been in almost 75 years. And severe drought in parts of the country has further reduced the feed supply, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. We shared this story on our social media outlets. Simply go to the PEP Radio page on Facebook or Blue Sky to read more. That's the news blast for this hour. You can find PEP Radio on Alexa. Just tell your device, Alexa, play PEP Radio. If you are watching our videos on YouTube, drop us a comment and subscribe to the PEP Radio channel. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.